Stop watching. Start becoming. If you're serious about success, then the very first shift you must make is this. Break the habit of watching everyone else. It's easy, dangerously easy, to fall into the trap of constant comparison. To scroll through curated victories, to measure your pace against someone else's highlight reel. To quietly ask yourself, why am I not there yet?
But comparison is a thief, not only of joy, but of direction, because every second spent observing their path is a second not invested in building yours. Let me say this clearly. Focusing outward creates distraction. Focusing inward creates direction. You cannot chase clarity while drowning in comparison. You cannot walk confidently toward your future if your eyes are locked on someone else's. When you stop chasing their timeline and begin showing up fully for your own, everything changes. Success is not born from envy. It is born from clarity, discipline, and the quiet, relentless repetition of focused action. In the next few moments, you'll learn the mindset shift that separates those who waste their energy watching from those who channel their power into becoming.
You'll learn how to silence the noise, the chatter, the doubt, the outside opinions, and train your mind to remain grounded, focused, and aligned, even when distractions swirl all around you.
Now imagine this. You are standing at the very center of your own universe. Not metaphorically, but literally. Every result in your life, every breakthrough you long for, every vision that flickers behind your eyelids, begins with you. Your circumstances may not be yours by choice, but your response, your thoughts, your decisions, your direction, that is fully yours to command. Your future will unfold exactly as you direct it, if first you master it within your own mind. This is not poetic fantasy. This is the exact mindset that has shaped the world's greatest leaders, creators, builders, and innovators. I've spent a lifetime studying the inner worlds of the most powerful men and women in history. Presidents, philosophers, inventors, industrial giants. And the pattern is unmistakable. Each one of them began with no advantage except for one: a definite purpose and an unshakable belief in their own potential. They did not wait for permission. They did not obsess over where others were in their journey. They made a decision, and then they moved. Let me show you one of them. Andrew Carnegie, a titan of industry. But before that, a poor Scottish boy born in a one-room cottage, with no wealth, no inheritance, and no education. He arrived in America with nothing in his pockets, but everything in his mind. He possessed a
He did not waste his energy measuring himself against those born into privilege. He did not envy the elite. He did not flinch in the presence of scholars or men with titles. He mastered the only thing that truly matters: himself. He went inward. He studied his thoughts. He cultivated his mind with more intensity than others chased money. And then, from that place of mastery, he poured every ounce of mental and physical energy into the vision he had chosen. He did not beg the world to open a door. He built the door. He became the door. He stood unbending at the center of his own universe and bent the world to meet his will. That, right there, is the lesson. Stop looking sideways. Your neighbor's success has nothing to do with you. Their wins do not define your worth. Their timeline is not your benchmark. Their applause is not your validation. Look in the mirror. That's the only person you need to outrun. That's the only race that matters. And the truth is, you already have enough. Enough insight, enough strength, enough intelligence. But only if it's focused, only if it's directed, only if it is trained to ignore the noise and aim all your energy toward becoming the highest version of yourself. You want to win? Then stop watching and start building. Start doing the deep work, the quiet, boring, brilliant repetition of small, clear, consistent steps. The world doesn't reward the distracted. It rewards the disciplined. And discipline begins when you stop asking, "Why not me?" and start declaring, "Watch me." The power of self-belief. The center of your universe. Your potential is not measured by the accolades of others, the promotions of your colleagues, the triumphs of your friends, the applause earned by strangers. These are not your compass. You were not born to replicate someone else's dream. You were born to awaken your own. Each time you compare your progress to another's, you relinquish sovereignty over your own path. You fragment your focus. You shift the seat of your power from within to the world outside you. And once that focus leaves your inner world, your thoughts begin to scatter, your actions become reactive, your results grow diluted. This is not a minor slip. This is a dangerous drift, and if you're not vigilant, it will rob you of your future. You must reclaim the throne of your own mind. You must believe, deeply, relentlessly, and with sacred conviction, that your vision matters, that your voice matters, that your existence was not some cosmic accident, but an intentional spark placed here for a reason. Your values are your foundation. Your ambition is not arrogance. It is a sacred fire that deserves to burn. When you choose to operate from that center, life no longer happens to you. It begins. And all true success is conceived in the invisible realm of thought. Before the skyscraper ever scrapes the sky, the blueprint is etched with precision. Before the fortune is built, the idea is formed in silence. Before a man becomes powerful in the world, he becomes powerful in his thoughts. So I ask you now, what vision do you hold within? What idea blazes so fiercely inside you that you cannot extinguish it, even if you tried? Do not ask if it is possible. Ask instead, is it mine? Because if the dream is truly yours, then you must stop waiting for permission. Stop looking for signs. Stop hesitating. Stop comparing. This is your moment to seize the reins of your mind, to declare yourself sovereign, to crown yourself the architect of your life. You are not here to imitate. You are here to create. History does not remember the echo, it remembers the original, the bold, the brave, the builders of new worlds, the greatest souls who walked this earth. They did not rise by following the crowd, they rose by following the whisper within. The one voice that said, keep going, keep building, keep becoming. You have that voice too. It has never left you. It speaks in quiet moments. It lives beneath the noise of doubt and distraction. It waits for you to listen. Stand tall, look inward, and finally begin to build the life only you can build. Because you are the center of your universe. Not your past, not the opinions of others, not the metrics of social media. You. Throughout history, those who soared the highest, those who left footprints on eternity, shared one defining quality: an unwavering belief in themselves. This belief was not born from arrogance. It was not inflated ego. It was not loud or boastful. It was a quiet, burning certainty that what lived inside them was worth the struggle, worth the ridicule, worth the risk, worth the failure. Look at Thomas Edison, a man who failed not once, not 100 times, but over 10,000 times before the electric light ever flickered to life. Most people would have surrendered. Most would have said, "This is a sign to stop. This is impossible." But Edison, he saw failure not as the end, but as refinement, as revelation, as education. He understood the sacred law. Persistence reshapes reality. Belief precedes creation. Those with self-belief do not wait for the world to validate them. They validate themselves. They carve their future into existence, not because they are certain of success, but because they are certain of the mission. That is the posture you must take. You were never meant to shrink to fit someone else's frame. You were never meant to doubt your divinely assigned fire. So today, stop measuring your life by what you see around you, and start measuring it by what you're called to build within you. Stand firm in your convictions, root deep in your truth, and walk like a creator. Because that is exactly what you are. The relentless power of belief. There are those who glance at their failures, their fatigue, their long years of unrecognized effort, and resign themselves to the false conclusion that success simply isn't for them. But not Thomas Edison. Mr. Edison possessed something rare, something every remarkable achiever must cultivate: an unyielding belief in the value of his own vision. He did not measure his worth by the swiftness of others' success, nor did he ask, "Why is this taking so long for me?" when others arrive more quickly. Instead, he understood a deeper truth, one that few ever truly grasp. Failure is not a verdict. It is feedback. Every misstep, every experiment that didn't work, every trial that ended in darkness rather than light, it was all data. It was refinement. It was progress masked as setback. Each failed attempt was a brick laid in the foundation of mastery. And this, my friend, is the spirit you must carry forward, because you too hold within you a dormant seed of greatness, a potential not yet actualized, a power not yet fully tapped. That seed lies in waiting, not for perfect timing, not for external approval, but for your belief. Belief is not optional. It is not a privilege reserved for the fortunate or the famous. It is the cornerstone of creation, the first ingredient in every human triumph. Without belief, your ideas remain intangible wishes. Your ambitions drift into fantasy. Your capabilities stay shackled by hesitation. Make no mistake, doubt and fear are not weaknesses. They are natural companions on the road to greatness. Every significant man or woman to ever bend history in their favor has walked through the fog of uncertainty. But they did not stop. They did not cede control to fear. They moved forward with faith in their mission, not comfort in their circumstances. They fortified their belief like a citadel, repeating their vision until it solidified into conviction. They nurtured their dream when no one clapped, when no one listened, when no one believed. They stood firm anyway. And now I ask you, what do you believe about yourself? Do you believe you're capable of more? Do you believe that your voice matters? Do you believe that your ideas have weight? If you do, then you must act accordingly. Speak like someone who believes. Walk like someone who believes. Plan, build, lead, and live like someone who knows that success is inevitable as long as they never give up. You cannot wait for the world to validate you. That is the slowest form of death. Validation must begin internally. It is a quiet, conscious decision to trust in your own mission, regardless of applause, regardless of speed, regardless of results. When you choose to believe in yourself, fully and unapologetically, success begins to organize itself around you. Resources show up. People respond differently. Paths begin to clear, not through luck, but through alignment. Lead yourself first, writing as a weapon of clarity and power. Before you lead a business, a movement, a family, or a legacy, you must first lead yourself. And self-leadership begins not in the public eye, but in the silent chambers of your mind. It begins before the first meeting, before the phone buzzes, before the sun warms the sky. You must command your thoughts. Why? Because every thought becomes a belief. Beliefs shape behavior. Behavior shapes results. And results build your destiny. This isn't about cliché affirmations or the latest self-help fad. This is about something far more ancient and powerful: mental dominion. This is about becoming the master of your inner world before the outer world makes you its servant. Every morning is a meeting with your mind. Don't skip it. Don't delegate it. Don't let the headlines speak louder than your heart. The world can wait. The noise can wait. But your purpose will not. This is your moment to take the microphone and speak directly to your future. Remind yourself who you are, and more importantly, who you are becoming. Because if you don't lead your mind, it will follow someone else's script. And then, there's the page. The blank page is your battleground, your sanctuary, your sword and shield. The moment you wake, your mind is a floodgate. Thoughts pour in. Dream fragments, worries, goals, unfinished sentences from yesterday, and flashes of bold new ideas. They surge in loud and fast, and if you don't capture them, they vanish like breath on glass. Ideas that are not written become ghosts. Goals not written become wishes. Desires unclarified become distractions. But here's what high performers know. They write. Not after lunch, not before bed, but first thing, while the mind is pure. Before the world's static muddies the signal, before the day writes its story, they write theirs. And they don't write to be eloquent. They write to be accurate, to wrestle chaos into order, to give structure to emotion, to sketch the blueprint of their vision before the hammer ever swings. Writing is not just for poets. It's for warriors. It's for architects of focus. It's how you become the author of your own day. Just 5 minutes, 10. Write what's real, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you fear, what you crave, what you must do even if you don't feel like doing it. Because clarity isn't always found in silence. Clarity is often born in ink. Writing slows the rush. It filters the noise. It makes the invisible visible. It gives your scattered emotions form. It turns hesitation into direction. It transforms intention into instruction. Each word is a decision. Each sentence a declaration. And when you write, it's not just reflection. It's reinforcement. It's not just journaling. It's strategy. It's not just personal. It's preparatory. It's how you stop reacting and start constructing your day. Think of the minds who shaped history. Lincoln, scribbling speeches on scraps by candlelight. Edison, filling notebooks with rough sketches, raw insights, and wild ideas. Marcus Aurelius, writing meditations not for legacy, but for personal alignment. They understood what many forget in the digital age. If you don't give shape to your thoughts, they will shape you. If you don't write your identity, you'll be written by your environment. So, grab the pen, open the journal. Don't wait for the right words. Just write the real ones. Because if you can command the pen, you can command the mind. And if you can command the mind, you can command the day. And when you command the day, you command your destiny. Anchor your future with ink, not intention. Do not trust your memory with your future. The mind forgets. The page remembers. What you write becomes real. What you record becomes reachable. Your thoughts may spark the flame, but it's the pen that keeps it burning. Write it down. Make it visible. Make it solid. Because when your goals live only in your mind, they float, shifting with moods, fading with distractions. But when you write them, they land. They root. They begin to organize your life like gravity organizes stars. The goals you write become the blueprint for your action. The gratitude you capture becomes the fuel behind your peace. The problems you acknowledge become the first steps to solutions. And the dreams you detail, they begin to recruit your focus. Here's the truth. What you do not write down, you forget. What you forget, you neglect. What you neglect, you never live. A powerful life is not built on occasional inspiration. It is built on consistent intention. And writing is that consistency in motion. A man's life is not shaped by the thoughts he has, but by the thoughts he anchors. And writing is the anchor. So start small. Start with one honest sentence. Start in the silence. No need for the perfect notebook or eloquent words. Just start. One line of truth, then another. And as the ink flows, you'll feel the shift. You're no longer drifting. You're directing. No longer reacting. You're reclaiming control. This is how transformation begins. Not with fanfare, not with perfection, but with a quiet hand, a still room, and a declaration of intent. Write your way into clarity. Write your way into power. Write your way into purpose. Start